I finally did it. I beat GR2-19 after spending the entire day attempting to beat it, trying all kinds of strategies, moving gear around, just going nuts. You can see 3-star clearance finally. It took me quite a lot of time, but finally got there, and I did record it. So I'm going to show you the recording of me beating it, and I'll speak over it to show you and explain a bit why I did certain things and what worked for me. I would just like to state this isn't a guide. I don't think any guide can truly be made for this stage. You need so many legendaries, you need so much gear. But this is a showcase of how I've done it, and hopefully it will help some of you get there. So let's go over it. So this is inside my video editor. I can just pan through it quickly and show you. So we can see I have not cleared it here, stage 19. And for my team, you can see I have taken Raph, Salazar, Arrogance, Salavic, or now he's called Abomination, and the new hero Gwendolyn, Captain Reeve, Vienna, Elowin, and Volker. So a brief summary of what they're all there for. This is seriously a headache. Unfortunately, Gwendolyn is incredibly necessary for this run, so is Elowin. I don't know how I would do it without either of those two. It was just a nightmare. They were so vital, and their placement was necessary, and I even had to change Elowin's gear around to give her the 15% damage reduction set, because without it she was just dying to stray stuff. Volker is also quite an important unit for this run. Her death timer reduction at Awakening 1 came in quite handy, and a lot of people are relying on that. And also, as you can see, I am using the hero that is now named Dalin, the cost reduction epic hero over in the top right here. And that is mainly because she has a skill that allows her to recover cost, which was necessary for my placement. So I will show you exactly how that placement worked. If we watch this video, you'll see. So Dalin goes down first, she has cost reduction. Then Salazar goes down because he's got good bouncing and he has good damage. Elowin goes down next. And Salazar will die without Elowin there, so he does need her. Then Arrogance goes down next, and this is so he can guard the second lane. He's a ranged fighter, so he can do quite a bit of work there. And now we can kill off these last two things, and the boss will spawn next. And now I place down Gwendolyn. And this is where everything's kind of annoying, and this is why the placement order I've got is so fiddly and so precise, because Gwendolyn is really freaking annoying, and I have spent the day ranting in my guild's Discord about it. They've probably tired of me insulting her endlessly. Her ultimate is great. It does 90% of her max HP as a shield, and then allies adjacent to the person she shields get half of that, 45%. The boss, his Shriek attack, Golem Shriek, does 150% of your max HP as damage. So if Gwendolyn casts it now on Elowin, everyone around Elowin will get a 45% of Gwendolyn's max HP as a shield, including Gwendolyn. However, the boss does 150% of your max HP, so Gwendolyn will be 5% short and she'll just die anyway. So she has to cast it on herself. But Gwendolyn casts her ultimate on the last person you place within her attack range, which means I have to place her last in my turn order, otherwise she'll die. I was messing about using Valkyria to revive her and all kinds of configs to try to get this to work, and so far this was the only thing that would work for me. I have Dalin here so that I can get cost up, so that I can get all of these units down and have time for Gwendolyn's ult before the boss even spawns. So that's the reason for all of this jankiness. So yeah, that's why I've done it this way. Dalin needs to give me the cost so that I can place everyone down in this order. I need Elowin down early because I need her rage bar to be filled up in time for the second attack, Earthshake, from the boss. So now Golem Shriek is up, and I can cast Elowin's ult. Bear in mind her ult takes ages to cast, so I have to cast it around a quarter of the bar left so that it has time to actually shield everyone. It's enough that it can shield the rest. I tried this with Salavic. My preference would have been to have Salavic on the left because he has 2 tiles. However, his base HP is so high that Gwendolyn's shield fallout, 45%, is not enough to save him from the Shriek attack, and he just dies. So it's very fiddly as to who you can use. I found if I used too tankier unit, they would just die. Earthshake is coming up now. You need to take in mind when Elowin's ult, it takes a while to cast, and while she's casting it, she can't heal. So you need to cast her ult before this gets too close to finishing. So there we have it. Salazar ult to kill off the first rolling boulder. And I drop down the Wood Elf because these are nightmares. If I don't do that, everyone will die. I need to have Elowin's ult. Without Elowin's ult, everyone will die. And then the next wave comes. These guys throw boulders. The guys throwing rocks were so damaging that I had to change Elowin's gear and give her the 15% damage reduction set. I've obviously still aimed for ideal subs. It's obviously still plus 16 gear. I think one of them is 12. But without it, she was dying, and I needed her up more consistently. I'd solved the Gwendolyn problem by placing her last, And this means, of course, you see I have 4 deployable heroes, but if I use them I have to accept that Gwendolyn's going to die. So I only do that later when I have no choice. But early on I want to get by with just 4 heroes. So Eowyn needs to be able to survive by herself with her own healing. The 15% damage reduction set really helped save the day with that. I place Dalin down again just so I can get some sneaky cost points in. Salazar ult just to wipe out the 2 damaging units to make sure he doesn't go down suddenly. And you can see Arrogance on the right, because of his attack range, is able to deal with things quite smoothly. And you see now the Golem Shriek is coming back up again. I need to get rid of Dalin, because if I don't, then Gwendolyn will ult her and everyone's dead. So I despawn Dalin, she did a little bit of work. I ult from Gwendolyn, and as you can see, big shield up. Everyone survives. And now the next thing is going to be the Earthshake. However, this time it's Earthshake plus rolling boulders. So I will lose my DPS. I will lose Salazar and Arrogance if I don't place tanks. So I place Salavic and I place Captain Reeve. I drop my ult. I drop the Wood Elf on the left side with Salavic because he's a bit squishier than my Captain Reeve. And as you can see, it's going pretty well. I'm managing to tank through the damage, but it is a lot of damage. Both my DPS go down, but my fighters are still up. And now, if you realise, this resets it back to Gwendolyn being the last hero placed, which means she can save herself again. So I don't mind that too much. I have Volker, so I'm reducing the spawn timer. And now a really weird placement. I placed down Vierna, something you probably wouldn't expect. It's just because she's so strong. Look at this. Boom. Dead. The reason I tried Vierna, I tried her in my many attempts earlier today, and I got to the boss the first time using Vierna and her just culling wave after wave. I don't know how she managed to survive that long. I couldn't replicate it after that, but I kept her in because of her ability to do that has been quite helpful. But now the boss's Shriek is going to be coming up, so I despawn Vierna, because again I want Gwendolyn to be the last placed hero. I ult on Gwendolyn. For some reason, if you saw there, it didn't actually place on Gwendolyn, which I don't understand. It seemed to place on Arrogance, which is really weird, and I don't understand how she works, which is why I insult her all day long. But consistently it seems to be the last hero placed, other than when it decides not to. So now I have Earthshake coming up, and I'm in a bit of trouble here because my last placed hero isn't Gwendolyn anymore, and I've lost my left side, so I can't keep the order I had. So now I just start chucking down tanks and DPS in hopes of making it through. I'm on 23 out of 27 enemies left, so here we go. We're killing through them. It's not too bad. As you can see, I'm ready to drop Volker so I can block these boulders. Remember, when you block a boulder, it takes massive damage. So do you. But it helps deal with it quickly. So I don't care if Volker dies. Her job is just to reduce its health, which she did. And she's actually alive as well. Arrogance, being the champ he is still alive on the right. I despawn him because we don't need him at this stage, and it would just take up unnecessary healing from Eowyn that could be on someone else. So I start despawning people who aren't necessary. Volker just straight up dies, though that wasn't me despawning her. Vierna goes down because I need to kill this boss now. I have not let a single enemy through. This is the point where I am elated and I realise that all my hopes and dreams have come true. And I just need to kill the boss. I'm waiting on the spawn timers. Again, having Volker's spawn time reduction really saves me with this one. Salazar goes down, and I know that this is a victory at this point because the damage is just so high that I can get through it. And finally the boss goes down, and that's how I did it. It is not a guide. This is not how I would say you should do it. This is reliant on so many legendaries and a load of crap and a load of very high gear. This is a real nightmare of a mission. If you can beat it, I congratulate you. It is definitely difficult content. I won't be trying GR2-19 anytime soon. I will try GR1 next, and I'll just quickly show you some of my DPS charts and healing charts and damage charts. You can see Salazar and Arrogance doing most of the work there. I think Arrogance was more valuable than Salazar. Honestly, if I could have had 2 of them, I would, just because of his consistency at hitting enemies from further away. And you can see other people doing pretty good damage as well, but the damage doesn't really represent a lot in this. I think the thing that's more interesting is damage taken and damage healed. You see Eowyn going absolutely nuts with 2.2 million healing done. And if we look at some of the other charts, you can see in damage taken, Gwendolyn was taking an absolute beating, and that's because of the percentage of her max health as damage was just crushing her. And Salazar was up for a long time, and he was tanking hits more than Arrogance due to him being melee range. And on healing, you can see again Eowyn just doing a huge amount of work. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Thanks guys, good luck with your runs, take care, and bye bye.